The spring planting season is well underway in Oklahoma, and local greenhouses say they have a good problem on their hands, maintaining inventory to meet the demands of gardeners whose priorities have changed due to the pandemic. Steve Shaw is here to explain that. Steve.
Rich, when the pandemic smacked us over the head just over 2 years ago, massive greenhouses around the state feared they'd be shut down. Instead, something else happened.
Guthrie Greenhouses, the home of red dirt plants, has been rolling along since 1892. That's 130 years. They're the oldest and biggest business of its kind in the Sooner State. But when the pandemic shut everything down in March 2020, co-owner Jesse Tischhauser says they had no choice but to pucker up. He and his wife Tara had $2 million in inventory that was going nowhere fast.
We were very anxious trying to figure out if we were going to be able to sell everything or if everything was going to go to waste and we were going to go out of business.
Then, when the state deemed Guthrie Greenhouses essential a few weeks later, Tischhauser says it was surprisingly easy unloading that multi-million-dollar haul.
It's been growing over the last probably 15 years. And with the pandemic, just push it to a whole nother level. I mean, if we had another 2 acres of vegetables to grow, we would sell all of them. It's that crazy. People are buying them earlier, doing more of them. I mean, you've seen people gardening that have never had a garden before, especially the younger generations that everything comes in the store just exactly the way you want it. You've got those folks getting out there and starting to get vegetable gardens.
Why?
Well, it goes kind of back to the old days of being able to grow your own food and survive if the grocery store's closed, or if the pandemic would have really been a really shut down everything economy like what China's doing right now. All you have is your stuff at home. Last year, everybody bought stuff so early because we ran out so early in 2020. So it's carried over this year. People are buying earlier and earlier because, like literally every garden center is running out of vegetables, especially early.
In early February, Guthrie Greenhouses had more than 1 million vegetable plants to sell. By the second week of April, they were completely sold out. They sell their stockpile across a 500-mile radius to independent garden centers all the way from Salina, Kansas, to Hot Springs, Arkansas, to Waco and Amarillo, Texas.
The biggest challenge for us right now is energy costs. Just delivering plants 500-mile radius, the price of diesel is 2 or 3 times what it was last year. Natural gas as well. We've had record natural gas prices. We've never had a natural gas bill over, say, $30,000, and this year it's pushing almost $100,000 a month in natural gas.
He says that caused Guthrie Greenhouses this year to raise their wholesale prices about 10%. TLC on West Memorial in Oklahoma City is one of those independent centers that sells Guthrie Greenhouses red dirt plants. TLC also has a second location in northwest Oklahoma City as well.
Our spring is like 8 weeks of Black Friday. It's just that crazy around here. And you just got to keep, one day at a time, keep pushing yourself to get through it. So we grow about 50 different varieties of tomatoes. We grow 25 different varieties of peppers. We grow like 10 different varieties of squash, 5 different varieties of cucumbers, and a ton of melons.
Yet manager Brandy Mosley says it's still not enough. Again, because vegetables are so popular.
With shortages at the grocery stores and stuff, we had a lot of people that come in and want to grow their own stuff, but we've had so many people get their kids involved now. And so every day we've got a new little kid coming in going, I want a strawberry or I want a tomato or something so I can eat it at home.
Tara Gardner and her daughter Gentry drove into TLC from Chandler last week. Mom says the pandemic was a catalyst.
I think a lot of people started gardening. We had extra time, we couldn't go places, pick out our own fruits and vegetables. And so this gave us a way to, see what we're growing and have a quality. That's important. It's easier than I thought it was going to be for sure. People are seeing, the grocery stores are getting a little bare right now, and to be able to know where our food comes from is important, and the health of our children and our families.
Tomatoes have got to be the most popular, and then the scorching hot peppers. I don't know, you can't really eat them, but people come in and ask for the hottest of hot.
Do they like to cook with it?
They do like to cook with it, or they just want to say that they have it, try to get their buddy to eat it.
Mosley says besides veggies, the other most popular plants right now are Gum Petunias, lantanas, pentas, and angelonia, because they fare better in the Oklahoma summer heat. And speaking of that, she says water only in the early morning or late at night.
If you have any water on their foliage anywhere between like 9 and 3 in the afternoon, you can actually scorch the plant from the water being on the foliage. So if you water them early in the day so they have time to dry, then you're putting less stress on them.
Also, when shopping for flowers, know the difference between what are called perennials and annuals. Perennials come back every year. Annuals die off in the early fall. I learned that the hard way. Rich?
Thank you, Steve.